Hello. Good afternoon on a Sunday. So just wrapped up for the weekend. Got a pretty good amount of stuff done. Might notice something's missing here. There's something chained up there. Get into that in a second. This pile, a lot smaller. So cut down a few trees blocking this brush pile because I want to start cleaning that up a bit, which is why there's something unchained. The tractor is equipped with a new attachment. Well, I've never used it, so it's new to me, and it's brand new. But the grapple, so it's a root grapple. It's not a Coyote branded one. It's a different one called Vernig. First time using it. I'll show you some video of literally the video of the first time of me using it. If I have it, we'll see. So this is the first time I'm moving around with the grapple. Got it all connected up. Hydraulic lines connected, which was a bit of a pain. Basically those black hoses in the front have to get connected so the grapple can open and close with the controls. Now I'm just trying to get it in a position to lift that pile of sticks. So here goes the first swing of the grapple. I was pretty excited for this. I think you want to just kind of come down on top and grab as much as you can because it gets at a pretty crazy angle. You can open it super wide. Tough to tell how much pressure you're supposed to put down. Like, I was literally hearing the sticks all crunch up and everything, and I don't think I realized what happened yet, and I think it might have just set in. Something was not right. Basically what had happened here is the plates that connect the grapple to the tractor came undone, and it basically hooks on the top part of the grapple, and then you lock down the latches to hold the pins in place so it doesn't come off. But the pins of the grapple didn't go all the way down, so when I pressed down on this, the pins came out. So basically the only thing holding this grapple to the tractor is just like the forward pressure, and soon that even thing comes off, and then I have to play with it for I don't know how long. I felt like it was like half an hour of playing with it to get the top back on so I could take the grapple off, and the hoses were still connected, so I had to be extra careful because if the grapple fell over or I went too far away with the tractor, it would tug the hoses, which would have been really bad. So I'll skip all the part where I'm looking at it and trying to fix it, but eventually I do get it back on. So after much finessing, this is where I finally got the grapple back attached to the top of the plates, and those two silver latches are both open, which those, when you push them down, they lock the pins in place and hold the whole implement to the tractor. but it's at an angle where I can't even push those down. So I basically have to get this grapple out of the pile of sticks, up and out, essentially, so it doesn't detach itself again. So I have to make a huge mess, I think, in order to get it out of there. But it's a pain getting those plates to line up just under those hooks in the tractor, especially at an angle like that in like a pile of dirt that wasn't really even. So to get that off, and tried a bunch of stuff to get those pins to go down, but it turns out that the grapple, the slots for the pins just aren't quite right, so they need to be filed down a little bit in order to get the pins to close. So we'll have to file those up. Hopefully it'll attach okay next time. But I did get to use the grapple a bit, just to do some moving some of these branches around. Yeah, those things just would not go down. So I'll show some of that next. This is just me trying to figure out why they're not going down all the way. So I think this is the last load that I tried to do, and I called it quits after this one because I didn't want to chance messing with the grapple anymore. I tried one other one and like kind of put it to the test to see if it would fall off again, not knowing if like it was still an issue. Of course it was. So I just safely took it off and then put that away for the rest of the time. I tried a bunch later to get it to stick on right, but basically what I explained earlier is that the bottom pins just don't go in the slots, so those locking mechanisms don't push down all the way, which you might be able to see on some of the videos with the loader, the bucket. But yeah, that went not as great as I had hoped, but I was pretty excited about it. Anyways, I did move some of that brush with it, as you saw probably, and just started piling it up over there. I didn't think it through well enough on like how to pile that brush up there. There's really not a lot of room to like push it in there. And you have to maneuver long pieces of brush between trees, which the driveway's now wide enough to like do that, but getting it into those piles is not ideal. So maybe I need to think of a better solution for that, or cut down some other trees to make it easier. Like just that one big one right there in the way. This guy. Get rid of that and I have access to the pile. So maybe that's what we do. Anyways, outside of that stuff, I cut down a handful of trees right when I got here. They all came down pretty easy. Took some footage of that. there's one that fell in a direction I didn't expect, but I kind of planned that if it did go off course, it was going to go somewhere else that was okay too. So it all worked out okay, but yeah, not ideal. Anyways, most of those are right here. So I got the stumps out, then just started leveling it up a little bit. It was missing a lot of dirt after those stumps. So as you can see, it's looking pretty good. Like easily get up in here with the car probably, or the truck. So either that would work. The brush pile's looking much bigger. That was most of the weekend, honestly. It did snow. First snow. Didn't camp on the board up here because I was worried it was going to be too cold and might rain. So I actually put the tent in the garage, which was pretty cozy, but still freezing. I got a little portable propane heater. Didn't really do much. Yeah, it says it's indoor safe. It has like an oxygen sensor and everything. I just left it in the garage. I didn't want to put it in the tent in the garage because it just felt a little too contained. But I mean, it's a tent. There's open air. Cut a bunch of wood, so that was good. Sharpened up the chainsaw. Thanks, Jim. That was really helpful. Appreciate your help on that. It cut really well after that. It was like smoking the week before when I was cutting these oak logs over here. And I cut up all the trees that I cleared and then came back to the oak log to really put it to the test, and it just cut right through it. So it was good. Let's see what else. I raked a little bit by the garlic patch and just put all the leaves over the garlic because I think it likes some cover, especially with the cold. So do that. So I have the bucket over here right now just because it seemed like it was an easy spot to get it on and off. Got to figure out that thing with the grapple because that isn't great. And then the last couple things that I did, we're just clearing a little bit here. I just drove the tractor straight through to see what it could do, and it pushed through everything. I could have kept going, but I want to have a better plan if I push any further. There's like 3 different house spots that I had found, and I just put some flags there, just spots that are like decent looking. So hopefully one of those will be the spot. If not, it's not a big deal. Still just kind of figuring that out, but I wanted to get some ideas of some good spots, so I did that. I took a short video, I think, of that, so maybe I'll have that here too. But yeah, so this is the back section of the property. Built a trail along here a while back, and this stake right there, that pink thing, that's like the second furthest one. There's like a corner it's cut out in the top of the property, or the back end, and that's where the corner is. So right along that line where you see that pink flag, that's a line indicating the back, but then it keeps going further a bit until it cuts to like the back. There's I can see from here the pink flag, but it's tough. You won't see it on video probably. Anyways, back here to look at potential house sites. This is nice. It's like, this is probably like 80% back, so pretty far. I had to literally make a second driveway at least the same length, and it's on a slope a little bit, but one house site over there with the white flags, you can see those. It's somewhat flat, you know, you can have a walkout basement. But yeah, this area looks nice. It's away from everything. You can't see any other houses from here. And then the other spot that I liked was right up here. You can see those white flags. which seemed like a good spot too. It's a little bit closer to the neighbor's side, my neighbor to the right, but it's not that bad. It's still pretty far back though, so I'm gonna go back and find maybe one more spot closer, and then I don't know, just think about those spots a little bit more and figure out if they're definitely where the house should go. So I'll probably start clearing the rest of this driveway, you know, as soon as I know where that spot's going to be. And then we'll see, the shed might be coming together soon, but I don't know yet. So we'll be waiting to see more on that. That's about it. Hope you all have a good day. Bye.